We need to have a healthy credit profile. Profile over score. Stop just focusing on the score, but get that profile in shape. Be healthy when you walk in. You want to walk out with the loan. Now, once you get that loan, all right, what do you do with it? So down the interest rates, because of this inflationary period that we're in, the Fed keeps raising the interest rates over here. And now we're at 6% on these loans. I'm going to show you how you can navigate even a 6% mortgage and make the best of it. All right, let's get into this $400,000 mortgage at 6%. And I'm going to show you what the banks want you to see. I'm also going to show you what they don't want you to see. Even though they're trying to charge all this money, I'm letting you know today, it is not necessary for you to pay it. Right now, $400,000 mortgage at 6%. The bank wants to charge you $2,398.20 a month. That's just the principal and interest. You have taxes and insurance on top. And let me tell you a little trick to this. If you can opt out of escrow, do it. If you can opt out of escrow, do it. Meaning the bank is offering you a service where they will pay the taxes and insurance for you. They're just adding it to your payment every month. What they're doing, folks, is they're putting your money in a savings account that pays you no interest. And then they pay your taxes and insurance for you. Let me ask you, could you put your taxes and insurance money in a savings account for yourself and make interest on it and pay the taxes and insurance yourself once a year?
You almost made me cuss. I have never heard about that.
Really?
Yes, really.
You don't have to do that. In fact, I can show you how to leverage that money so that you can save interest.
Lord have mercy.
While it's waiting in the bank to pay taxes and insurance, I can show you how to use that money effectively to save yourself on interest. Can we talk about it today?
So Don, you're saying pay your own insurance to whatever company you use, State Farm, Allstate, whatever.
Yep.
Pay your own insurance every year.
Yep.
And then send your money in yourself for your taxes.
Yep. You can put it in. Listen,
Lord,
all they're doing is putting it in a bank account. And you know, they say it's a service, a free service. What they're doing, folks, is every dollar the bank has on deposit, they can lend out 10. For every dollar they have on deposit, they can lend out 10. So if they have your escrow money sitting in the bank, those are monies that are deposited. That makes their balance sheet look better. They can lend out more money. Okay, that's why they do it. And they're making money on your money. You're not making a dime. So you just get used to making, I'm making my taxes and insurance. You can put that money in your own account, making a higher interest rate, and then pay your own taxes and insurance every year. You can do it yourself. So let's think about it. Let's show you some of the tips and tricks here. So let's take a look at this $400,000 mortgage at 6%. And we're looking at just the principal and interest payment because this particular client says, you know what? I'm going to put my own money away for my taxes and insurance. Okay. So now let's take a look at what the bank wants you to see. What they want you to see is the $400,000 that you borrowed. They want you to see the 30-year term and get acclimated to a 30-year term. You know, a 30-year term is just a suggestion. You don't have to keep the loan 30 years. I need to get this information out here. Number one, you don't have to pay escrow. You could do that yourself. Number two, the bank wants you to take a look at a 30-year loan and get acclimated and used to that idea where you're just making your monthly payments for 30 years. Do you know what that's called, folks? Do you know what it's called when you pay your mortgage for 30 years? It's called renting the money. Oh my goodness. You go from renting your house to renting money your entire life. Does anybody here want to keep renting their money? Is that why you're trying to buy a house? And folks, listen to this. While you're buying the house, you're not owning the house. You're not a homeowner until it's paid off. 9 out of 10 people you know will never pay off a mortgage and actually won't own the house. So you want to burn the mortgage. If you want to burn a mortgage, oh my goodness, start a fire. Let's start a forest fire of burning mortgages right here, right now. I'm going to show you some of the things that they want you to look at, but you don't need to pay attention to. So if I'm going to borrow $400,000 at 6%, I want you to see the total amount of interest paid. And I'm going to say it slow. Just the interest that they want you to pay is $463,352 interest on a $400,000 loan. So your true cost on that house is not $400,000. Your true cost on that house, if you keep this loan for 30 years, is $863,352. That's the true cost on this house if you keep the loan for 30 years. But guess what? You don't have to keep the loan for 30 years. I'm going to show you something that the bank doesn't want you to know. The annual interest rate is 6%, but look, I need you to see the total interest paid as a percentage of principal. 115.838%. Soak that in. 6% becomes 115% when you keep the loan for 30 years. Let me show you some of these things right now. Right now, we're looking at payment number one, and I need you to learn how to read an amortization schedule. Interest payments you skip don't matter. Interest payments you skip don't matter because they want to charge you rent every single month you have this loan, but interest payments you skip don't matter. I need you to take a look at the interest on this loan right now. Every month, it starts out at $2,000 for the very first month. $2,000 interest. Your payment is $2,398.20, and $2,000 of it is rent on the money. You weren't paying that much rent when you were renting a house, but they want you to pay $2,000 rent on the money. Let's stop that madness. Okay, I need you to take a look at the interest payments all the way down. It goes from $2,000 down to $1,998. The next month is $1,996. The next month is $1,994. And it just keeps on going. $1,900 payments for an entire year. You know, when you add up all the interest for 1 year, it is $23,868.38. That's 23,000 of your hard-earned dollars going up in smoke just so you can pay your loan down by $4,912.02. At the end of 1 year, that's how much you've taken off the loan, $4,912.02. But the bank wants you, for the privilege of borrowing their money, wants you to pay them $23,866.38 just to get $4,900 of equity. Folks, that is way, way too much money to pay for what you're getting. And this is what they don't want you to see.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.